Alright, so number 15 says, a leaning ladder is 20 feet long. So think of a ladder, and it's leaning against a building. So here's your building, windows or whatever, and here's your ladder. Okay? And if the base of this ladder is 6 feet from the base of the building, it's talking about this is 6 feet. Guys, do we know what angle this is without having to be told? It's a right angle. Okay, we build things right angle, otherwise things would fall over. Okay, so for that purpose, we will default to a right angle. Okay, what is the angle of elevation? You tell me. Is that the orange or the blue for angle of elevation? The blue. Okay, so the angle of elevation, we are looking for that based off of what we have. What am I missing right now? Because I can't get it right now. Because there's something that I haven't written down. What have I not written down yet? The 20 feet. Okay, the 20 feet is here. Okay, and we're assuming that this ladder is not going to be extended. You know how you have those ladders that can extend? It's just 20 feet all the time. Okay? Alright, so let's put our body, like normal, right here. What are we looking at? Sine, cosine, or tangent? Cosine. Nicely done. Cosine is ca, and the adjacent side is right here. And the hypotenuse side is across from that 90, is right there. So it's the cosine of some angle, you can use theta or you can use x, is equal to 6 over 20. Now we're going to do what Hunter was saying for that other one that I stopped the recording a little too early, okay? Instead of solve featuring this, we're going to apply what to both sides? Inverse cosine. Nicely done. Otherwise, arc cosine, okay? So inverse cosine, arc cosine, we're just going to do the arc cosine of 6 over 20. Here we go. So, yeah, keep going. So Sydney's doing it for us. The arc cosine, control divide 6 over 20. Oh, control enter, 72.542. Okay, 72.542 degrees. Cool. Was Sydney in degree mode? I just want to make sure, because yes, she was. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's just the first question. What is the angle? That's just the first question. How high does the ladder reach on the building? We want to know how high would this be right here. Y'all with me? Okay. So, you have a choice. Okay, it's not the difficult part of this math. It's just it can be a little bit daunting because the person sitting next to you might not do the same thing that you would do. Some people would subtract from 90, and whatever they got, they would put right here. And they may use adjacent and hypotenuse and do cosine again. Y'all with me? You could also, now that you know the angle, you could decide to do, well, I'm looking for the opposite, and I have the hypotenuse, so I'll try out sine. Y'all with me? And some might say, no, I'm not going to do all that extra work per se. I'm just going to go ahead and just look at getting tangent. I'm going to, now that I know my angle, the opposite is this height, the adjacent is this. And Chase is probably raising his hand because some might even go even further and do something a little simpler and do Pythagorean Theorem from here. They'll say x squared plus 6 squared is equal to 20 squared. And see, there's no one way to do this. So whatever your strengths are, you need to develop those. You need to figure out what's better. When do you make less mistakes? Do you see what I'm saying? But all the while, guess what? You better make sure that this is correct. because if this is incorrect, everything else could be jacked. Okay, no matter what you try to do, it could be messed up. Any questions before I do this? Okay, someone volunteer. What method do you want to do? It could be any, don't do Pythagorean just for the practice, okay? You can do Pythagorean, but for instructional purposes, choose one of the trigonometric functions. Anyone volunteer? What do you want to do?
The tangent.
The tangent, okay. So, the tangent is TOA. Okay, so we have our triangle. Here's 20, here's 6, and now here's our new angle that we solved. We're saying the tangent of 72.542 is equal to what? Anybody? Is equal to what? Opposite over adjacent. X over 6. Okay? So let me show you something. The reason why I left a gap, and you were probably like, what is he doing? The reason why I left a gap is because now I'm doing another piece of this answer. I'm still working the problem. How many decimals should I write and go back to, because I'm now in the middle of the problem? 6. So I'm going to change. Can someone help me out with that? What would that number be to 6 decimal places? 397. Guys, when you finish and you look at this, those of you who are wanting to get an AP Calc and whatnot, you can only be 1/1000th of a point off whenever you're doing accuracy. That's why we do 6 throughout a problem, so that our final answer isn't like this much off. We can't be that much off. Only within 1, okay? Below or above. Okay? That's why we do 6. Alright. So, let's go to Sydney. She probably already has this in her calculator. Thank you, appreciate it. Oh, never mind. No worries. I'll put it real quick. What do y'all want to do? Do you want to solve feature this? Probably the easiest way. Okay, so menu 3-1. And it's going to be what? The tangent of, anyone, if you wrote it down? 72.542, 397. Degrees, it's an overkill because she's in degree mode, but it's good practice to get into, is equal to control divide x over 6. What do I finish this off with, anybody? Comma x. And then you get 19.079. And some of you, you're allowed to round, okay? And I'm okay with that. 19.079. Some of you might truncate. That means after you go to 3, who cares what the rest is? Just write the 3. Okay? Doesn't mean round down, it just means cut off everything else. That's truncate. This is rounding. I'm okay with either one, because how many points are they off from each other? Just 1. Okay, and that's allowed. Are we good? Was that a feet one? Or inches?
That was a feat.
That was a feet. So make sure you do units of measure too, guys, okay? Because on the test, on the quizzes, each time that you forget, and always people that aren't listening or whatever, each time that you forget, I deduct a point for that, okay? So make sure we're writing feet in units of measure. Any questions before I stop this video that are related to what we just did? Okay, so let me do one more thing. Remember the way Hunter was saying for that last problem? If this was our original question, right here, what could we have also done instead of the solve feature?
We could have just multiplied it with